Welcome to Reddit Reader. What conspiracy theory has a chance of being true? That identity of Jack the Ripper was known to the police. He was actually detained and questioned by police before being released. He then left the country before they could rearrest him. Scotland Yard then covered up their failure, which snowballed into one of the biggest serial killer conspiracy theories in history. This is supported by the fact that 132 years later, they are still withholding the case files and decline all Freedom of Information application as the files may have an impact on living persons. The same people moderate all the largest subreddits. The Modfia are really pretty creepy, to be honest. Not really creepy when you consider they're middle-aged fat men sitting behind computers 24/7. Yuri Gagarin wasn't the first man in space, just the first to come back alive. Certain governments are actively working against environmental legislation because their countries have access rights to resources buried under the Arctic that they want to exploit once the ice caps melt. Worldwide pedophile rings and their involvement in Epstein's murder. I'm not talking about the adrenochrome shit. That's just made up bullshit. I believe that Epstein was murdered to cover up larger pedophile rings. Imagine this. You have a deal to expose all your clients and have at least a little bit less strict prison sentence in exchange. Then you just hang yourself in your cell when you have no way of knowing that the cameras are out, when no guards control your cell the way they should. Seems like there are just too many coincidences in this one for it to be just a random suicide. I saw some autopsy photos, discussed the matter with my dad, who is an ex-cop who saw a couple of suicide victims, both saving them from the nooses and on the table, and he said that he had never seen anyone with strangling marks in the middle of their neck that wasn't a murder, since most hanging suicide victims have marks right under their chin. If Epstein survived and still gave out the list, it could have had a couple of added names, but there are pretty big chances that some of his clients might have been involved in other pedophile rings much larger than what his ring. Just doesn't add up. New original Coke. Apparently, American Coca-Cola was made with sugar up until the 80s, but they wanted to change to a cheaper ingredient known as HFCS. Not wanting to make the change and have people in an uproar over the change in taste, Coca-Cola made New Coke, which tasted completely different, which did indeed cause criticism. The sneaky part is they said, "Yep, New Coke is a failure. Here's your beloved original Coca-Cola back." Except now that Coca-Cola is made with the cheaper HFCS and tastes different to original sugar Coke, but still better than New Coke. JFK was assassinated by the CIA for wanting to disband them and end the Cold War. That the reason there are so many ridiculous and outlandish conspiracy theories is to discredit any potentially correct conspiracy theories. If the Illuminati exist, it is most likely to be very rich people who are not widely known, so no celebrities or politicians. Faceless power with no consequences for the members. Don't remember who said it, but I heard a comedian recently say that there may not be the Illuminati per se, but these old rich dudes probably at least have a group chat or something. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and subscribe so you don't miss our next upload.